Today's theme may be painful, but it is essential for those who want to break free from the control of a narcissistic person. Let's talk about the 3 pains that narcissists feel, but they are often invisible to those who are out of this relationship. These pains are deep, but distorted, manipulated to control and deceive others. In the end, the goal is for you to understand these wounds, so that you will not be manipulating and, more importantly, can take the first step to your own healing. If you haven't watched other narcissism videos on the channel yet, be sure to check it out. They will help you understand the signs, mental games, and how you can break the abuse cycle. Deep down, the pain you feel now can be overcome. Cure is possible, and you deserve to live with lightness and inner peace. Let's go together on this journey of self-knowledge and healing. With this in mind, it is essential that you understand that even narcissists, being known for their arrogance and manipulative behavior, they also feel intense and often unrecognizable pain. And these pains have a great impact on their attitudes and relationships they establish. However, while they try to hide this pain or disguise it, it exists, and by understanding it, you can better understand the dynamics of the relationship. But remember, this does not justify the abuses you have suffered, and your cure is what really matters. Throughout this video, we will explore these 3 pains more deeply, so you can better understand what happens in the minds of a narcissist and how you can protect yourself from it. The first pain, the fear of rejection. The fear of rejection is one of the deepest pain the narcissist feels. Although many think they are indifferent, selfish people and who don't care about their image, the reality is quite different. The narcissist carries within himself a huge void, a constant feeling of inadequacy, and that it will never be sufficient. This emptiness is camouflaged by a superior facade, a constant need for attention and external validation. And it is precisely this lack of self-esteem that makes them so vulnerable to rejection. For the narcissist, being rejected is like an open wound. They do not know how to deal with it, and as much as they try to mask, the fear of not being accepted is always present. They seek people's admiration, and when that admiration disappears, or feel rejected in some way, they are deeply shaken. In many cases, this fear leads them to attack or try to manipulate the situation to regain what they feel they lost, the validation and approval of others. However, what they do not realize is that by acting in this way, they end up getting the situation worse and further away those who really care. This fear is one of the reasons why narcissists are so dependent on others to feel enough. When you move away or demonstrate disinterest, they feel that your whole world collapses. The sense of rejection is intense, even more than they can deal themselves. And that's why they react exaggeratedly, sometimes angry, sometimes with manipulation, or even becoming victims. But remember, this pain is not your responsibility, and you don't have to carry this emotional charge. When you begin to realize this, you can get away healthily without feeling guilty. The key is to understand that their pain is a reaction to the emptiness they carry, not a justification for abuse. The second pain, the abandonment. The pain of abandonment is another reality that many narcissists face, although they do everything they can to disguise. When a narcissist leaves someone, whether physical or emotional, in fact, he is trying to avoid the pain of the abandonment he feels internally. It is as if he wants to anticipate the pain before it comes, and therefore tends to cause pain in others first. This pain of abandonment is difficult to understand, because the appearance of self-sufficiency they pass conveys that they do not care, but in fact they care a lot, but in a distorted way. Abandonment makes the narcissist feel rejected and powerless, which confronts his idea of being a strong and superior person. This sense of loss is actually a threat to your ego and your worldview. For a narcissist, being abandoned is as if his own value is questioned. And this is where they become even more manipulative, trying to reverse the situation or doing everything they can to regain attention, even if it involves more control or emotional games. When you decide to move away or show that you no longer want to be part of the relationship, It is normal for the narcissist to feel deeply shaken. This makes him feel insignificant, which ends up generating a cycle of pain that he can't handle. As much as he tries to hide this or project in you the blame for the situation, what is happening is that he is experiencing a very large internal loss. This can lead you to seek ways to manipulate you to get back to the relationship, creating a psychological game that puts you in check. The truth is that abandonment, as much as the narcissist tries to hide, reaches the core of his emotional wounds, and the pain is immense. The third pain, indifference. Indifference is perhaps the hardest pain to deal with the narcissist. They can boast of being insensitive or indifferent, but the truth is that the indifference is a direct blow to their ego. When someone becomes indifferent to his presence, his games, or his attempts at manipulation, the narcissist feels invisible. They need to be seen, they need others to reveal emotions about them, whether through admiration, fear, anger, or even sadness. The fact that it has no impact on people around is like an emotional death for them. They feed on the reaction of others, and when these reactions do not exist, they begin to feel like they are losing their identity. This generates intense pain and often a desperate need to be noticed in order to generate any kind of reaction. Indifference is a feeling of being discarded, and this is something they have a hard time dealing with. When they feel ignored or disinterested by someone, they do their best to draw attention again. This can be manipulative or even aggressive behavior, but all this is born of a deep pain of not being recognized. When you decide to move away and be indifferent, you are giving yourself the greatest gift, emotional freedom. Indifference to the narcissist is the key to realizing that he can no longer manipulate or control you. He will undoubtedly try to seek a reaction, but the secret is to stay firm without being affected. Indifference is a way of protecting your inner peace, and by adopting it, you are emotionally strengthened. This can be one of the most challenging steps, but also one of the most liberators.